Hi and welcome everyone to day 14, to the 14th story of the book, 25 Stories I Would Tell My Younger Self. I'm the author, Julian Hosp, and we have been talking over the last 13 days and all the way until Christmas about one story out of the book. So we always talk about one individual story out of the book, and today we talk about the Brazil story. And normally, I always have some little samples from these stories. I share, for example, a basketball, or I have some special cards. Well, since today we talk about the Brazil story, and the Brazil story is about taking drugs, I didn't want to bring any drugs to show you here. So, no samples today. Today's topic is, should you be doing drugs? What was my lessons from doing drugs? And let's see how it goes. So over the next couple of minutes, I want to give you some extra insight behind the story. I don't want to recap the story really quick for those who haven't read the book. It's basically about me being a professional kite surfer in Brazil. I have always been a very good boy, never drank alcohol, never done drugs, never done anything bad or anything illegal. Well, when I was in Brazil, I got around a group of people where I suddenly got into heavy partying. We did heavy alcohol usage, heavy marijuana usage, heavy cocaine usage, and a lot of very, very almost dangerous things I want to point out. So what is my takeaways from that, and what do I want to leave behind for my younger self reading this book? Well, first of all, I talk in the book about whether it was a mistake for me to having to done drugs. And looking back, and this might be very surprising to many people, I'm really glad and fortunate that I have tried drugs in this environment and I did not get severely hurt. And what I mean with this is, since I had not done drugs before, suddenly I was in this environment with a group of people where it got totally nuts, totally out of hand. And you can read this in the book where I'm just passed out on the floor, and I mean, it was just an excess. So what I mean with this is this. I'm glad that I had the chance to try drugs, and I'm glad that nothing bad happened, because doing the cocaine, I mean, it got so close of just getting stuck on it and totally getting addicted to it. So what I want to share with you here is this. If you ever think about trying drugs, I feel one of the worst things you can do in life is not try something that you really feel you want to try. I'm a total person who believes in trying things because you need to be curious. Steve Jobs always said, stay hungry, stay foolish. And so I totally believe in this. But here's a really important caveat to that. If you do these things in the wrong environment, without the right people around you, this one try or this one time trying something out can totally get out of hand and can catapult you into an area that you don't want to be in. Because let me tell you this, I studied medicine and I know out of a medical doctor's point of view how dangerous drugs are and how dangerous these things can be. Now, on the other hand, I totally don't regret having tried it. I haven't tried at all. I don't regret at all having done those things. But it could have gone the total wrong way. Because if you read the book, you will see how over days and weeks, we were totally into heavy drugs, partying, and so on. What would have happened if I would have been in the wrong environment, and in the wrong environment, I would have suddenly started to get stuck in what we have been doing? Imagine. This can happen to anyone. So my conclusion of the entire story is this. Trying out drugs, if you are in a controlled environment, I'm totally not against that. And I would have probably done it again. Why? Because when I hear people talk about smoking marijuana, when I hear people taking cocaine or anything else, you know what? I've been there, done that. I totally understand why certain people react certain ways, and I know exactly what has been going on. And if my parents would have told me, Julian, you're never allowed to do that. Julian, you should never do this. Guess what? My inspiration to do it would have been a lot higher than it is today. But because I tried and I know how it is, I'm totally satisfied and I know I don't need that. But on the other hand, if I would have been in the wrong environment, and if you are under the wrong environment and you have people around you who push you further, it can get really dangerous. And so it always comes down to who are the 5 people around you that you are doing this with together. I had a very good friend and we did this together. And even though he was almost a bit more inclined to stay on, both of us decided this is a really stupid idea, and it's a very bad idea to stay on there because it would have destroyed us. My last point into the entire story here is this. If you are a parent and you have kids, and I was this good kid, as good as it can always get, right? You can never know how close to the verge someone is of slipping off to, I don't want to say the dark side, but let's say to the side you don't want someone to slip off to. You don't know, because it can be so quick, like an instant. What is the only way that you can make sure that your kids or the people that you care for don't slip off? I've been wondering this a lot myself, because I don't have kids myself, but I have seen how quick it went for me and how worried I am once I have kids that they don't slip off the same way, because I think my parents did everything right. So, in my opinion, the only thing you can do is educate your kids. My mom have always been very open with alcohol, with drugs, and very, very open. They don't drink much. I've never seen them do anything illegal. So they lived a very good example. So you as a parent should live a great example. At the same time, you want to be open about something. My parents never said, Julian, this is absolutely illegal. You're absolutely not allowed to do this. If they would have done that, it would have just made it for me more attractive to try something, to do something. So, as a parent, be the example. Second, be sure that you educate your kids. Educate kids about the potential harmful effects of drugs. I think this is very important. Now, me as a medical doctor, I had an easier way doing that because I saw this in the hospital, I saw it in the rehab, I saw it on a regular basis. And then, the last and most important thing, be sure to check who your kids are around with. I really believe this has the largest influence on any human being, and especially for kids. This is really, really, really important. And I quickly talk about that actually with my dad, who made sure that I was in around the right people. And I'm really thankful to him that he kept me out of a problem zone. So with this, I really hope that I can give you some massive value there. Am I against drugs? No, I tried it myself, and I'm happy I tried it. If you are on drugs and you want to get off, then get professional help. I gladly didn't need that because I just tried out, I was in the right environment, and it was something that touched me deeply, and I'm happy I tried it, but I'm also as happy that I didn't fall over the edge. And if you are a parent, make sure your kids are around the right people, because that has one of the biggest influences in my life, in my experience. Got something to tell me? Got something to share for your own? Do you have an experience you want to share with me? Let me know in the comments below. Drop me a Facebook message. Would love to hear that. Maybe you totally disagree with me, or you think, wow, Julian, what you did is absolutely stupid. You should have never done that. Let me know. Would love to hear your input. Head over to our Facebook page. Follow me here on YouTube. Would love that. We have a newsletter where we send out these messages. And if you haven't read the book, check it out. 25 stories I would tell my younger self. I share about the Brazil story, about drugs, and of course, a lot more, all kinds of walks of life. So with this, have a wonderful December 14th. Talk to you tomorrow with another story from Brazil where I tried something out and I lost big time. So with this, talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Cheers, and talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye, Julian.